Hi, Hawaii. Wanted to say hello to you, to everybody around the world. I'm trying different things with the timing because I'm trying to make it so that the time is reasonable back in Asia and in Australia, where I have a lot of viewers. And then I'm also trying to make it so that it's workable for people on the East Coast or in the central United States. And then we'll just see about Europe. So I had an interesting topic today. I just got off the phone with people in communist Hong Kong, and I do calls pretty often with people there, and I hear about what's happening because I was there 29 years. So later on, I'm going to talk a little bit about it, about what's happening at this moment that's coming firsthand. I've been gone for a little while now, so I always give importance to people who are firsthand observations. I don't really put a lot of importance in what I read from news media. It kind of gives me a general idea. But at the end of the day, I want to go and I want to talk to people who are actually there and who are seeing. And then it kind of confirms what we read in the media, or sometimes it doesn't confirm it. So we're going to talk about that a little bit today. And I just want to say hello to everybody. Please feel free to make a comment. If you have a question, something like that, love to hear from you. Especially love to hear where you're from, if possible. The people in Hong Kong, and I use the word communist. Communist. I know sometimes that makes people unhappy because if they're there, they say, "Well, we're not communists," but actually, the government is communist now, and I want to make sure that people always put that as their focus, so that they're not deceiving themselves and saying, "Oh, we have a government that we've elected." Actually, it's not that way at all. It's totally put in place by communist China, and they've passed the laws that are communist. So I use the word communist Hong Kong, not in a mean way, but in a way that's realistic. And I want to see people change that. I want to see that government thrown out, overthrown, go away. That's what I want to see in my lifetime as soon as possible, so that people there can vote for who they want to vote for. They're not living in fear and and all those kind of things. And we'll put on a little bit of music. If you don't mind, I'm going to put on a song straight right off the bat and enjoy the music. I hope you enjoy it. Let me get it all set up for you if you don't mind. Okay. Hope you enjoy it. A nice song, and I'll sing along.
Bless the Lord, oh
My soul, oh my soul.
I worship His holy name. Sing like never before.
Oh my soul.
I
Bless
worship
it.
Your holy.
If you don't mind, I'm going to put on my headphones.
The sun comes up, it's a new day dawning. It's time to sing His song.
That way you won't get feedback.
Whatever may pass and whatever lies
For me,
let me be singing till the
evening comes.
bless the Lord, oh my soul.
Oh my soul, I worship His holy name.
Sing like never before.
Oh my soul, worship Your holy name. Rich in love, and You're slow to anger. Name is great, and Your heart is kind.
For all Your goodness, I will keep
On singing 10,000 reasons for my heart to find.
bless the Lord, oh my soul.
Oh my soul, I worship his holy name.
Sing like never before. Oh, my soul, I worship your holy name. And on that day when my strength
Is failing, the end draws near, and my time has come.
Still my soul will sing your
Praise
praise
unending,
unending.
10,000 years and then forevermore.
Bless the
Oh,
Lord,
my soul, oh, my soul, I worship his holy name.
sing like
Never
never
before, oh, my soul, I'll worship your holy name.
Bless the Lord, oh my soul, oh my soul. I worship His holy name. Sing like never before.
Oh, my soul, I'll worship your holy name.
Yes, I
Worship your holy name. Lord, I'll worship your holy name.
holy name.
Hope you enjoyed that song. I did, and hope that you enjoyed it. So, I always enjoy and encouraging music, try to lift me up and make me feel good, and try to make that a daily part of my life. And you get to share that with me, and I get to share that with you. So that's wonderful. If you have a song that you like in particular, just put it down in the comments. That'd be great. So today I want to talk a little bit about Hong Kong, and I get reports frequently from Hong Kong. So every live, pretty much every other day, and I get comments from people on a daily basis uh, with photographs or videos. So I pretty much know what's going on, and I know what to expect there because I was there for a long time, and I nothing, I know what to expect. Um, Nothing would surprise me. Uh, so I hear things, and I wanted to kind of share with them with the viewership around the world because right now the world's focus is on Ukraine, but Hong Kong is also suffering very greatly. It's not like Ukraine, I have to say, it's a different kind of suffering, but it's been longer. It's been going on since at least 2013. We've had a lot of major problems there, and it's gotten worse. So it's so bad that I really am saddened by it, but I also am trying my best to talk about it with people. So it's reached the point where it's very terrible there for the people. If you don't mind, I'm going to grab a drink. Okay, I got this at Walmart the other day. It's quite good. It's like uh, mineral water with a flavor and no calories. That's the best thing about it. And so right now, Hong Kong is in the midst of a very terrible circumstance with the virus. We just call it the communist China virus because I've seen enough proof back in 2 or 3 years ago that I know it originated there, and I won't go into great detail about it. Well, I will because this is the time to talk. If anytime I can talk, Hong Kong, the communist Hong Kong government put out just before maybe December. It was sometime around mid-December before everybody around the world started realizing about this communist China virus. They actually were put out a notification that that I read, and it was from the government. It said something like the virus has come from China. People need to be aware that it's here. And it was very early days. So as soon as I read that, I knew right away where it came from. And then later on, Communist China tried to deny it, but they had actually notified the government in Hong Kong that like investigates viruses or has oversight over that, and then they put it out on their website to let people know. So we knew about it very early, and we knew where it came from. And now the circumstances, because communist China gives directions to communist Hong Kong totally. Communist Hong Kong cannot make their own decisions about next to nothing. The government, so it's just a puppet government. They allowed people to keep coming into communist Hong Kong like thousands and thousands every day. Some of them without visas, going back and forth from communist China to communist Hong Kong, and they closed the borders to other countries except communist China. So when they did that, because communist China said you belong to us, the government, and so they just let people come in and out. And I said, boy, that's a recipe for disaster, because people from communist China, which where that virus originated, are coming into Hong Kong, very closely populated, and they're just bringing the virus with them. And so now it's reached the point I read just today where it said that communist Hong Kong now has the highest like death rate in the world. And I don't remember all the details because I didn't read the article real closely, but it was like the highest in the world. And I said, that's a problem. And then we're seeing pictures that are coming out that are being taken by the citizens, because everyone can go to the hospital in Hong Kong. And you're not really allowed to take photographs in the hospital or videos, but people are doing it. And they're also showing the people outside where they're just putting them on gurneys. And they're just like hundreds and hundreds of people outside the hospital because they don't have room for them in the hospitals. And they're out there dying, and the temperature is really low, and old people are dying en masse because they're the ones most susceptible. And now they have big refrigeration units at each hospital where, because they can't take care of all the bodies, where they're putting them in those big containers. And so that's happening today as we're speaking. And I just spoke to someone who told me they were just at the hospital, and they said that's exactly what they saw. So that's number one. Number two is, oh, and then that person said you can't actually get medication in the stores. Like if you go to the grocery store, like simple medication, like pain medication or cough medication, because they're all sold out. People have bought them, and they're afraid of, they're afraid of getting the communist China virus. So that's number one. People are not able to buy food, and what's left in the grocery store is very minimal. It almost can't keep you alive. Number two is the virus, and then I'm trying to remember what else. Oh, the streets are empty. People are not going out, and the streets. Whereas the streets are full of people normally, like crowds of people. Now it's very empty. The restaurants where are almost always full, because generally people don't cook at home; they eat out in communist Hong Kong. So now the restaurants are empty, and many of the businesses are closing down. They're closed. So that's another thing that's happening there. Um, Now, the thing that's the most recent that I heard about was they're actually taking districts in communist Hong Kong, and they're closing them off. The police are closing them off, and they surround the district, and the people can't come in and out. And then they go through and they do mandatory testing of everybody. So that's happening right now as we're speaking. I don't have a whole lot of details, but I do know that from people who are living there. And my question was, well, what happened if someone has the virus? If they test positive, do they have to stay in their house, or are they sent away to a quarantine camp? They've actually built big quarantine camps now in communist Hong Kong where they're just putting people. And if one person, like say a child, gets it, tests positive, and their family tests negative, the question I've got is, well, how are they dealing with that? Where are they sending the children? Are they like putting them in a camp by themselves? I just don't know the answer to that. But that's what I would expect. They will be quite brutal in some ways. So these are the realities of what's happening in communist Hong Kong at this very moment while we're speaking. Then you could use the word political. There's two ways to look at this. The courts, you have kangaroo courts there, which I won't go into detail. Basically, the people just do what they're told, the judges and the people work in the courts. And I knew a lot of them personally, so I know that for a fact. And they they have people who say they fight for democracy. There's a whole bunch of them that have been put in prison, and they've been there for like 2 years now, and they haven't even gone to trial, or they're in these middle of these kangaroo trials, and most likely they'll be sentenced to between 6 and 12 years, something like that. We don't know yet because they haven't really come up with how long people are going to be put in prison for these things. And then you have people who were real revolutionaries, of which I was one, and they were really fighting for freedom, independence. And so those people, some of them they caught, but they didn't catch a lot of them. And they did catch a few of them, so they're also on trial, and they're not. They're using the same kind of charges, sedation, um, treason, things like this. But uh, there were many they didn't catch. They're still there, but they're having to be quiet because the control is so extreme now. If 2 or 3 people gather on the street, even just to friendships, well, sometimes they use the viral laws to make them be arrested, or they give them fines. And sometimes they use the laws. They actually have laws where if 3 or more people gather in a public place, they've broken the law. Isn't that a ridiculous law? I mean, you could just be meeting your friends or your family members, and you actually could be charged with a crime. And that is actually happening there in communist Hong Kong now. So I wanted to kind of bring you up to date, and I'm going to show you a few photos that just are from today, from communist Hong Kong. So let me pull those up if you don't mind. Okay, hang on just a second. I have to be careful because in communist Hong Kong now, it's dangerous for people. So we have to be really, really careful about how we do this, and no faces and that kind of stuff. So, for example, here's a this is actually a live video or a live photo of the grocery store that is just like from within the last 24 hours. So I'm going to show that to you. So there you go. It's empty. Okay, the shelves. Here's another one, if you don't mind. This is the grocery store that is coming from someone I know, and they're taking pictures. That's what the shelves are looking like in the grocery store. Here's another one. Nothing on the shelves at all. I don't know what was there before, but there's nothing there, you know. And we never had that problem. Look at this is the refrigerated part where the food is. Nothing there. Hardly anything. Just a couple things. And so those are actually that's from actually within the last 24 hours. Isn't that incredible? Okay. So let me rewind it again just so you can see. These are the shelves of the Hong Kong shops. And I've seen other pictures that are even worse than this. Because I was kind of curious if the photos that are being shown on the media are actually like selected photos, where they're showing the worst stores. But I actually had a friend who went to his local neighborhood grocery store, and he took these photos. And this is the reality there. So there you go. So I'm just kind of showing you what's happening there. Um, I wanted to bring you up to date on Hong Kong today. As of this moment, it's a very much a communist state. People are being put in prison for their beliefs. People are fighting for a revolution to overthrow the government, which I support. And because I want them to have freedom, I want them to be able to vote for who they want to vote for. They're very kind and good people. And I was there 29 years. And I want them to be able to vote for who they want to vote for, and put in office who they want, and associate with other countries as they wish. not be told which countries to associate with or which not to. Right now, they're just being told, okay, you have a relationship with communist China, and that's it. We tell you what to do. And I don't want that. And I want them to be free. So you have that group of people. And then you have now the problem with the communist China virus. What's happening there? There's no food. Uh, the jobs. I heard from someone who's education, and they said that the schools are actually being closed early, and sometime within the next week, I think for the summer, they're going to take the summer break now instead of in August, and they're going to close the schools. And I've kind of heard some rumors they're going to use the schools for quarantine. Because they don't have enough space for people. So they're going to put them in the schools, and the kids are going to not be in school. The problem is, excuse me, sorry about that. It's that. it's that, which is really tasty. Let me have another drink. Black cherry soda water. And so the schools are, the kids still, some kids don't have any, they use the schools as like babysitting services almost. They have to work. The parent will work because in Hong Kong, communist Hong Kong, you can literally be put out on the street and literally starve to death if you don't have a job. They have very little social welfare there. And so the parents will work all day or all night, and then the kids will go to school, and that's kind of like a babysitting service. So now with the virus, the parents are still going out to work because they have to survive, and they close the schools. But the kids will go to school, and they'll have like one or a few teachers that are assigned to be babysitters for these kids, just to sit and keep an eye on them for the whole day. So that's the school system is almost collapsed now. I hear they are doing online schooling, but I'm not really sure how that's working. But so you have the school system that has almost collapsed. You have the healthcare, which I think has collapsed. You have the government, which is basically dysfunctional, and you have the food system, which I don't know if it's collapsed, if people can still get food to eat, but for sure there's a lot of stress there because there's been a run on the food. Outside of that, I don't know too much more. So I wanted to share that with you. And if you don't mind, we'll listen to one more song, and then I'll just call it an early evening. I was going to have a stressful week because I thought, or stressless week, because I had it set up where I was not going to do too much every day. But guess what? A lot of meetings. Okay, now a lot of things happen that I have to deal with, and so I'm gone and I'm out dealing with things. Like tomorrow, I'll be gone the whole day and whole night, meeting people, going to medical, and Wednesday I'm busy. It'll be a busy time. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But that's okay. I mean, I just do what God tells me to do, and I'm happy about that. And as long as I can get it done and I don't feel like I'm, like out of control stress, I'm okay with it. So here you go. Let's put on one more song, if you don't mind. Let me get the get the screen set up for you. Here you go. I hope you enjoy it. Let me get that going for you. Okay, we're online. You ready to go? Let's see what the song. I haven't listened to the video, so it's going to be all brand new to me. Okay. Amen to that. Okay. Let's see, they'll put up another song here in a moment. That's a Bible verse.
All it takes is one moment and just one touch from you. I put aside all distractions. I came for you. I came for you. I need you more than ever.
I don't know if I've ever heard this song before. I'll have to listen a little bit more.
Nothing else that
I'll live for you.
I came for you. I came for you. Holy Spirit,
I know this verse.
you are
Welcome.
welcome.
Come and move upon this place.
We desire
Yeah, I know these words.
encounter.
Please sit up straight and sing along.
Holy Spirit, Holy Spirit. Now that my heart is open, I am ready for you.
Jesus, take me deeper.
I came for you.
I came for you.
I came for you. I came for you. Holy Spirit, you
Are welcome. Come and move upon this place.
we desire an encounter again. Send your fire, release your power,
So we'll never be the same. We desire
an encounter again. We make way, we make room. Let your spirit move. Have your way in this place. Lord, we have come for you. We make way, we make room. Lord, let your spirit move.
have your way in this place.
Lord, we have come for you. Holy Spirit, you are welcome. Come and move upon this place. We desire an encounter again. Send your fire, release your power, so we'll never be the same.
We desire an encounter. Thank you for the person who's online listening and watching. Thank you. Feel free to make a comment. Isn't that nice? Hang on just a second. I've gotta go answer this. It's from Hong Kong. Hang on. Hello? Hello? Yes. I did. I sent it today. I just sent it about an hour ago. Oh, okay. I'm actually online, doing a video. So can you call me back in like 10 minutes? Would you call me back? About 10 minutes. Thank you. Bye bye. Well, there you go. Sorry about that. you know, I have phone calls from all over the world. Sometimes that was a call from Hong Kong. So thank you, Lord, for that. I was going to make it short video tonight because I had I wanted to talk about Hong Kong, and I did, and also, I've got a busy schedule now. I didn't think that's the way my life is. Sometimes it starts off. I always try to make it where it's manageable, but I have a busy until Sunday. I'm very busy, and but I will always come online and tell you what I'm doing, or maybe I'll do a video when I'm out. Depends on where I'm at, how much I've got going on. But please do come back and listen. I hope you've enjoyed the time, and I certainly have enjoyed my time with you. Take care. And I told the people in Hong Kong, call me back. So I got to take the call. I want to take this call. So take care of yourself, everybody. Bye.